Okay, so like I was saying, when this demon, pointed at me and called out my biological father's name, at first it didn't register because, like I said, he didn't raise me and I was only around him. I met him twice my whole life. So, and he went by the name of Gene. So, when I heard Insignius, I was like, oh, okay. And then I thought about it. I said, man, she just said Robert Insignius, and that's my dad's, real name. So, I at that time, after she said it a couple seconds later, I realized, and I kind of, you know, shrugged the elder apostle Malcolm. I said, hey, this is a real demon. She actually just said my dad's real name. She called me Officer Robert Insignius, and basically was saying that we were crooked cops. So anyway, I'm gonna play the video. Bear with me; it's a little bit. We'll play about 2 minutes of this video, just so you could see this incident with this demon at camp. All right. So here it goes.
All they were put here was to chastise them. All they were put here was to be the whooping stick of the planet Earth. Okay, but now that time's going to be removed. There's going to be no longer need for that. You see the base of man. What you see here is Esau at the bottom. Alright? Just like it was being said earlier, you wouldn't have seen this before, man. Have a nice day.
Because you're the cop. Because you are Officer Robert Seniors. It's you.
Have a nice day. Thank you.
Denver County.
See, she pointed at me and said Robert Insignius. The brothers weren't aware that that's my father's name.
The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. That's right, man. It's not all gumdrops and lollipops.
No, that's true.
Heavenly Father is a man of war, man.
That they're not heard.
Part of which, alright, you could see just by looking around.
I hear your words. Black nigger.
There you go, Kevin. There we go, Joe. There we go, you saw. Say it louder.
Say speaking. Say speaking. Before you try your my words, white bitch. A white nigger.
Hey, that's true, man.
White slave.
The true Hagar, man.
White daughter of James, daughter of
Go ahead, brother.
James. White daughter of King James. In the Bible.
But yeah, man, and it just shows you.
See, this woman is a witch.
Animal kingdom too. All right, these animals just eating each other up. This is all the creation of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. He is a man of war.
All you do is crowbar fucking children on the wall over cheesecake factory leftovers.
And you'll see that nature is very cruel, man. What? Nature is not nice at all, man. Alright? On the way down here, I was looking up in the sky and I saw a bunch of hawks in the sky, man.
And you're on 63 miles.
You ever seen what a hawk does to an animal when it scoops it up and flies away with it?
You crowbar people on leftovers. You don't care if they're black women.
Go ahead.
They'll even catch other birds, man. I saw one
Yes,
time.
snatch a bird.
Feathers just pop everywhere. Go everywhere. They just snatch it. That bird of prey, man. Yeah. Just like the eagle.
See, and I'm about to tell right here, you can see Elder Malcolm looking down at me, and I just told him what happened.
Yeah, hey, that was a real live demon right there. He said the brother's father's name.
He actually said his name, man. That's a real deal, man.
So there's no way that
He wasn't an officer.
Yeah,
That was his name.
yeah, but that demon is what.
Damn, it's crazy.
So like we said, when the spirit, that's how you know we're the true men of the Lord. Because when we speak, the demons round up, man. There's no way on God's green earth she could have known that information.
Hey, what's that
But
scripture?
she spoke those words. Why? Because she was getting riled up in the spirit. Because that's what happened. Every time when Paul spoke, riots broke out, man. And when the prophet spoke in the ancient world, the people got riled up, and that's what you just witnessed with that word. Go ahead, read.
And what's that scripture? Resist the devil and he shall flee. Right.
All right, so there's that that short video, showing you what happened. That demon actually called out my father's name, which was crazy, and I shared it with the brothers as soon as I was able to, as soon as it registered, because like I said, I always, refer to him as Gene, but his real name is Robert Insenius. So, real quick, I'm going to jump in these scriptures and bring out some edification on these demons. We're going to go starting out in Matthew, and we're going to go from Matthew chapter 5, and we're going to go through 11 and through to 15. It says, "Blessed are ye when men shall revile you," and in this case it was a woman demon, "and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake." So this demon was riled up, like the elder was bringing out, and she was riled up. And why? Because the scriptures were being brought out in the street, so she had to go make those, those demons, when they hear these scriptures, these words, these verses, they literally get riled up, man. And, we didn't call her to tell her to come over here and listen to what we're saying, at the camp. No, she was, she was drawn to the camp because she was riled up. Her spirit was riled up. All right. So verse 12, "Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid." And the light of the world are these prophets. We're out here prophesying, teaching the word of Yahweh, and that's bringing a light to this dark world. Okay, so let me jump to, just skip one verse, go to 16. It says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." All right. So, that's our job as men of Israel. We should be out there prophesying on these streets, corners, and shedding light on this dark world, because we are literally the light of the world. Because why? Because we have the knowledge of the Bible, of the Holy Scriptures. All right. And like you saw in that video, that demon got aroused up, and she had to come and, do what she did. And she's probably a witch, maybe she's into witchcraft. Maybe she prays to Satan, who knows? But the woman definitely had a wicked, evil spirit on her, right? And now I'm going to jump to Peter. And we're going to go to 1 Peter 4 and 14. It says, "If ye be reproached for the name of Yahushai, happy are ye." And the word reproach means shamed. "For the spirit of glory and of Yahweh resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified." All right, so that woman, you heard her calling the brothers and myself, that she was calling us, black niggers. She said, "Black nigger." The word God, she said, "God doesn't hear your word, black nigger." That's what she was saying, and she was screaming it out in the street, to the point where, if you watch the video, I don't know if you could see it in the one I just showed you, but the bystanders were literally pulling out their phones, recording this incident of this demon. All right. So moving on to 15. "But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify Yahweh on this behalf. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God." So what's the house of God? It's the house of Israel. Israel is the house of God, which are the so-called black, Native American, and Hispanic people. So judgment starts with us, okay? So, and it says, "And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh?" speaking about these demons and these Edomites. If you want to go there, as the whole nation of Edom is wicked, as the Bible says. So the next verse I want to bring out is going to be in Job, and we're going to go to chapter 1, and we're going to just to verse 6. It says, "Now there was a day when the sons of Yahweh came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them." All right, so, anytime, and that's what we are. We're the sons of Yahweh. Israelites are the sons of Yahweh, sons of God. So, whenever, and they say this in verse 6, it says, the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. That's what we were doing at camp. We're presenting ourselves before the Lord, proclaiming his truth, proclaiming his words. And then what does it say at the second part of that verse, 6? And Satan came also among them. So, whenever you're in this truth, the demons are going to attack you even more, because Satan knows who you are. Satan knows that, you're a prophet, and he knows his whole objective is to try to destroy you and try to pull your faith from you, And so verse 7, "And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord, and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it." Okay, so that was the whole point of that one. I just wanted to show you guys. But literally, whenever you bring out the word, hey, Satan's going to show up, man. So when you go out on these camps and do your thing, you're preaching the word, don't be shocked, because, obviously we've been doing this for a little while, and we have seen so many different things happen at camp. And each time it happens, it builds our faith. For that woman to know my Father's name, that was wicked, demonic, witchcraft, sorcery, whatever you want to call it. But you know what I mean? Out of all the names she could have said, she said my Father's name and pointed at me, She didn't point at the other brothers, she pointed at me. So just showing you that Satan is real, man, and Satan is a demon that can be put, and demons can jump on people. Also, not only on Edomites, but on Israelites. If you ain't rocking right in this truth, demons could come on you, man, and they can overtake you, It's a real thing, man. Let's go to the book of Matthew 25:40, and that says, this is Yahushua speaking, "And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me." So basically he's saying, you mess with my prophets, you mess with my elect. Hey, that's not a good thing. You're cursing yourself. So that lady was cursing herself, coming up against the prophets and being a nuisance to us at camp. This is 41. "Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand," which is the devil, which is Satan, all right, which is Esau, Edom, "Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels." So that lady was literally an angel from the left-hand side, from Esau. Remember, there's Jacob and Esau. Jacob is the righteous angels, and not all of Jacob is righteous, but that's, the 1/3 and the elect of Israel are the righteous, okay, and they are the righteous angels. Then you have the left-hand angels, which you saw in that video. That woman was definitely a left-hand angel coming up against the truth and the words of Yahweh. I'm going to go to Luke 4, verse 33. And it says, "And in the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil, and cried out with a loud voice. All right. And I'm not going to get into this story, but I'm just showing you that even in the Bible, these demons, these devils were, that woman had an unclean devil and an unclean spirit on her. And what was she doing? She was crying out in a loud voice. You could hear her even when the camera wasn't on her. You could hear her screaming out blasphemy, right? She was speaking up against the men of the Lord, who are teaching his truth on the streets. So, just showing you these characteristics of these demons. And then I'm going to go to Galatians, and we're going to go to 5:19 and 20. All right. So it says, "Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies." All right. So this is what this woman was about, witchcraft, like in verse 20, and verse 19 says she was, talks about uncleanliness, that's what she was. She was an unclean, wicked ass, demonic spirit that was sent to camp so that she could get cursed and curse herself with her mouth, with her own mouth. And, and in the process, that demon called out my father's real name, which, like the elder said, how in the world would she have had that information if it was not some, supernatural, in this case, wicked thing, showing you these demons and these devils are real. All right. And you need to keep in yourself in check, stay in these scriptures, lest ye be cursed with a demon on you. All right. So, and the one of the biggest things is, when stuff like this happens, not only does it build the faith, but also, because my brother and my mother, they know the truth, but they're not necessarily, a part of this truth yet, but they hear me, they see me studying all the time. They see me, they know I go to camp every week, and, I don't know, it's Lord's will that, that they're, part of the, salvation of the 1/3 elect and the 1/3 of Israel. But, I showed them the video, and, this is a chance for faith to be built, when something like this happens. Because when I showed my mom, she was the one who really had a reaction, and she was like, "Man, I can't believe she said his name like that. She said your dad's name." And she was really astonished at this video. And then my brother, he was also astonished, so much to the point where the three of us went out to eat, and I drove in separate cars. They followed me. And when we got to the restaurant, as soon as they got out of the car, they were still talking about it to me, and that's not really like them when it comes to this truth, but in this particular occasion, they were both pretty blown away at the fact that this demon, called out my real father's name while we were at camp, So, I just, the Spirit moved me to do this lesson, and hope it was edifying. But with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Ha-Rakah Quadash. Okay? And I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. And also acknowledge all of the Akyam, all of the elect of the nation of Israel. All right? Shalom.